Merck Co is in focus after posting a fourth quarter earnings beat, but delivering a full year 2026 outlook that missed expectations. Shares are trending higher as a result. And joining us to walk through all of the results is Rajesh Kumar, head of the European Life Sciences and Healthcare Equity Research at HSBC. It's good to have you join us. Thanks so much.
Hello.
Okay, so I guess, first of all, what jumped out to you in the latest earnings report?
And then we've had a lot of deals with the U.S. administration on drug pricing. And when we look at the guidance which the companies have issued so far, there is no material impact on margins so far, right? So that is sort of reassuring for investors. We are back to a zone where healthcare investment has become quite a bottom-up exercise again. So you can start looking at what the company's pipelines are doing, what patent cliffs are coming, which drugs are growing and which drugs are not. And last year was entirely about, what the MFN or, the tariffs are going to do to the industry. So we've crossed the wall of worry. On the other side, we are trying to figure out where can we find growth in the sector. There's a lot of excitement around growth. And in terms of the guidance so far from the companies, there hasn't been a massive shock, and that's a bit reassuring for a lot of investors.
So you talk about growth and where we can see growth in the company this year. Where do you think that growth is going to come from for the most part?
And then a lot of people are very excited about obesity. We are not as excited as the rest of the street, but clearly you've got headwind from the pricing deals we have seen in the first half of the year, and then we'll see how much volume unlock comes through. And the street has sort of made the assumption that the volume unlock will come through and orals will add on top. So there's a lot of excitement around obesity. There's a bit of concern around, vaccines. The market is sort of rethinking how much growth they should have on vaccines. But some of the cancer drugs, especially second generation immuno-oncology, but they can potentially be quite a meaningful growth driver in the medium term, without the complication of obesity markets with compounders, with pricing and all of that. So oncology potentially, and especially second generation immuno-oncology, seems super interesting.
Why? I want to talk about some of the top drugs in a moment, but you mentioned you're not as excited about obesity and weight loss drugs for this company. Why is that? Is it because of pricing?
See, the reality is we are at a point where we have just scratched the surface of the entire market, right? But we also have an unfortunate situation where compounders came, and then also with the US drug pricing deal, this market is not behaving like a traditional innovative drug market. It's become more of a consumer market. The prices have come down a lot faster than any of us had expected. And effectively, what we now need is a Nike swoosh. We need the volumes to go up. But for the volumes to go up, you are either depending on out-of-pocket, or you're depending on the employers and the payers to unlock value, but unlock reimbursement. But the real question becomes is that at the moment we have had the price reset in the government channel. What is the leakage to the sort of private channels in the US from that? So there are few uncertainties in the near term which you do have to think through when you're thinking about the obesity market. And at the moment, everyone is sort of so excited about orals is, they're sort of ignoring the fundamentals here.
Interesting. Okay, so obesity market and weight loss market aside, are there any kind of newer products that are standing out to you when it comes to Merck, or is it still the same strong drugs? Like Keytruda was one of their top cancer drugs as well.
I'm extremely sorry. The voice broke off. So I was talking more about overall industry rather than Merck. For Merck, the exciting bit will be, that their Winrevair asset, then you do have got a very interesting readout, Atlas, this year, which is an ulcerative colitis drug. And we'll see how their HIV portfolio sort of reads out. The reality for Merck is that the company highlights that their pipeline has got close to a $70 billion opportunity. And if you look at Keytruda, that's a $35 billion peak sales cliff, which is much closer. So between now and 2028, a lot of that $70 billion pipeline opportunity will get unlocked. And that is why the market is getting quite excited about Merck, right? Sorry, market is not excited about obesity and Merck. I thought the question was more about the overall result season.
No, that's a great answer. That's also all the time we have, so we'll have to leave it there, but a good conversation. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
That was Rajesh Kumar, head of European Life Sciences and Healthcare Equity Research at HSBC.